much, and good morning. It's a pleasure to see everybody here today. You know, there are two events as mayor that I look forward to, but I also take incredibly seriously. One is the Memorial Day Parade that this community hosts each year on Memorial Day, sponsored by our Council of Veterans and a whole host of people that make it happen. And the second is today, the meeting at 11:11. And I take it seriously because I often think of veterans and those that are with us and those that have paid, as Lincoln said in the Gettysburg Address, the last full measure of devotion. And I think of veterans in two ways. When I close my eyes, I'm sure you do the same thing, and you take a step back and the word veteran comes into your mind. You sort of see those folks as we see them marching on Main Street during the Memorial Day Parade. And many of them, the uniforms still fit. Sometimes they're a little tighter than they like. But they have aged and have faded in some ways. They're different. And that's sort of the image when you close your eyes and you think about what the word veteran means. But what you have to remember, what you have to think about when that word comes to your mind, is that the veterans who have served our country, both past and present, all were incredibly young. They were incredibly young. And when you look at the names that are listed on these plaques that are spread throughout this beautiful site that we have dedicated towards our veterans, those people were very, very young. And the commitment and the gift that they've given to us to be able to stand here today, to peaceably assemble, to vote in an election last week and every November, is an incredible legacy that they passed on to us. And to do all of that at 18, 19, and 20 years old is an incredible gift. And of course, I've often said, and you've heard me say before, that those people, those names on those plaques, gave 2 lives for their country. They gave the life that they had at the moment, and the flower of their youth. And then they gave their life that they would have had. Because the names on those plaques, they never had a wedding day. There was no walk down the aisle. There was no birthday parties. There was no anniversaries. There was no growing old and aging. They gave it all on the battlefield. And so, whatever events that we have, whether it's Memorial Day or Veterans Day, to thank them is never enough. We can never do enough. It pales into comparison to what they have given us. And that's why meeting today, this morning, is so critical. It's so important for the people of our community. Secondly, and I'll be brief, I also think about the history that Danbury has played in supporting the men and women in uniform. Think about the city that we live in. That just right over there, a stone's throw from where we stand, was the raid on Danbury that took place when General Tyrant sent soldiers up from Long Island Sound to burn our military supplies that General Washington had placed there. Right there, 30 houses were burned to the ground by the British soldiers, and then they marched up across over the hill, down past the mall. They took a left out towards Ridgefield, where the Battle of Ridgefield took place, where General David Wooster was shot right off his horse and died in May later that year. The history that we have here is incredible. And as you go up through Worcester Heights, you see places like Boughton, and you see businesses like Goodrich, which used to be Perkin-Elmer. Places where they built spy satellites that led the Cold War and military machines that supported our soldiers. And even today, a brand new Army Reserve Center being constructed there that will house 300 to 400 soldiers every weekend. It's an incredible legacy that this city has given to our veterans. So today it's important that we thank, that we recognize, and we remember all those that have dug the well from which we drink, and all those that today are spanning the globe defending the cause of liberty. May God bless you. May God bless our city. Thank you.